Brandon Beane signs a complete fire plug on this defensive line. Poona Ford at only 5'11", 300 plus pounds, next to Ed Oliver, freeing things up. This defensive line clearly adds another piece from last year, making it better than 2022. Welcome to my channel here, Bills News Consolidated. We got to discuss the signings here. Poona Ford solidifying things on this defensive line. We saw what happened with DaQuan Jones last year versus the Cincinnati Bengals. DaQuan Jones being that star Latavius, that big piece for Bills Mafia up front, taking on double teams. And when we didn't have DaQuan Jones there was a drop-off in play. Plus, you consider Jordan Phillips dealing with that shoulder. He was banged up. He was playing hurt. Von Miller going down for the season last year with his ACL. And per Brandon Beane, he stated that Von Miller has a great shot at potentially even starting the 2023 season for Bills Mafia. This is absolutely huge. The Buffalo Bills defensive line did not reach its full potential last year. We really didn't see everyone paying on all cylinders in 2022. Ed Oliver got hurt earlier in the season. As soon as he got back, Jordan Phillips got hurt. There was other injuries, and then Von Miller went down. So I think adding Poona Ford, we bring back Shaq Lawson, Jordan Phillips, Tim Settle, DaQuan Jones, Greg Rousseau progressing, Boogie Basham progressing, A.J. Epinesa progressing. That's the DNA and character of the players that we have here in Bills Mafia. These guys work and strive to get better in their off seasons, and we all know they do. So knowing that the Buffalo Bills have all these improvements and naturally we're trending up for the 2023 season, Brandon Beane comes out of the NFL draft without a defensive tackle, knowing that it would be imperative to add another defensive tackle to this line. Poona Ford comes here at 5'11", and I think it is a great matchup and great competition. We always talk about iron sharpening iron, and this guy is going to be great competition for our rookie, O'Cyrus Torrence, who's said to be immovable off that line of scrimmage. So Torrence at 6'5", 330 pounds, flat-footed. People say he cannot get moved. Well, you just met your match here in training camp. Poona Ford is going to sharpen iron with this Buffalo Bills offensive line. And what I really think is going to help the most is Ed Oliver, right? Ed Oliver is only as good as the players that he's surrounded by. And if you want to double team Ed Oliver, then Poona Ford is likely going to be one-on-one, especially when you consider Von Miller on the outside and Greg Rousseau. I really believe the matchups are there for the Buffalo Bills to completely dominate. And if you want to double-team Poona Ford, which makes a lot more sense, Ed Oliver one-on-one. That's what this defense needs to do. We need to get Ed Oliver on one-on-one situations. And Brandon Beane did reveal a lot, not only about linebacker, but this entire defense. This entire league is starting to transform and evolve, and we have evolved as a defense and as a team. It is a passing league. Brandon Beane specifically stated that teams are passing the ball on certain situations more so than ever before. So knowing that, the Bills have to be better against the pass. And knowing that our offense, and we have the best quarterback in the NFL, Josh Allen, capable of running up that score, knowing that we're going to force teams to pass, the Buffalo Bills' evolution here, especially on defense, is that we need to be stout enough against the run, but we don't need to be a dominant force. We need to hold our own against double teams. Ed Oliver holding his own against double teams. But you don't need to be a dominant force. And we've seen the evolution to smaller linebackers as well. You see it with Dorian Williams, even Tyrell Dotson, Terrell Bernard, Balin Spector, Matt Milano's even on the smaller side, but they're a little bit faster. They're better in coverage. Their back pedal is more fluid. Their transition step to the football is quicker, right? I believe that the Buffalo Bills are starting to evolve on this team. And I really believe the Buffalo Bills and Brandon Beane have the best suited team going forward here, knowing that the Buffalo Bills add Poona Ford to a defensive line that was already trending up. We have clearly gotten better there. And then you keep in mind the running attack that the Bills are starting to implement. Aaron Cromer and Ken Dorsey, year one last year. We had to learn from not only the players, they had to learn themselves, they had to learn Josh Allen, and ultimately what they do best. Adding beef to this offensive line and Latavius Murray, the new signing here, And one point I want to make about both Latavius Murray and Poona Ford, both fully capable of getting more money in free agency or signing to another team to get more money, and both of them openly admitting they wanted to come to Buffalo to win a championship, to win a Super Bowl, to transform this city, and even take less money to do so. Veterans, understanding what's important, winning is important. I think that is absolutely huge for the Buffalo Bills. But all the competition that we brought in on this offensive line, they say the best defense is a great offense. So knowing that the Buffalo Bills can maybe start controlling the clock, especially when we're up late in games, instead of passing and running and doing these things with Josh Allen, we have Damian Harris, we have Latavius Murray, we got Nyheim Hines, James Cook, Justin Shorter on the outside, Gabe Davis, some physical presence, Trenton Sherfield. We got some physical presence here. I think the Bills could start really pushing teams off the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. But again, this video is about the defensive line. I'm so hyped up about this defensive line. I really think Poona Ford rotating in there, Daquan Jones, Tim Settle, still kind of that speedier type defensive tackle that can rotate with Ed Oliver. And then we have a guy like Jordan Phillips that's kind of a hybrid of both. Jordan Phillips at 6'6", 300+ pounds, but he's fast enough and has the pass rush skills to affect the quarterback, And I really believe this interior of this defensive line is completely set. Huge, absolutely huge, adding this additional piece to the Buffalo Bills. And then you hear Brandon Beane speaking specifically about Von Miller, saying that he's got unbelievable genetics. He's a unicorn. Brandon Beane and everyone is shocked at the progress that Von Miller has made. And Brandon Beane seems set that Von Miller has a great shot at starting the 2023 season, which would be absolutely huge for Bills Mafia. And we've kind of waited to see Trey White get back to his full self. Brandon Beane even openly admitting that he can't wait to see Trey White start dancing and truly having fun on that football field. I don't think we really saw that late in the year from Trey White, coming back on Thanksgiving, still kind of making his transition off of that injury. But I believe after a full offseason, getting a little bit of a taste of things last year, Trey White is going to be the best version of himself. Micah Hyde is going to be back for Bills Mafia. This is just absolutely unbelievable what the Bills have done here, proving that we could hold up the opposing offensive lines, stopping the run in 2022 after getting shredded in 2021. We get better in 2023. So absolutely time to get hyped up for this season. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe. Only 82% of my subscribe. Actually, 82% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you just check. Make sure you're subscribed. Go Bills.